Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful copper rose like this. Take you through each step. No welding, no soldering. The easiest way I think possible to get great results like this. Alright, so in this video I'm going to show you how I go about doing the copper roses I make. And I'm going to do it in a way so we don't have to do any welding or soldering or anything like that. Try and make it as easy as possible. So if you go onto Google and just type in copper rose template, it will give you a printable template of these petals. So you just print that out, and then I've just drawn around on these sheets to try and get as many as I could in the sheet. So this is I went on eBay, got a 500 by 500 mil 0.5 sheet of copper. And out of that, I've numbered them up. I think I've got 9 flowers. I can make 9 flowers out of there. And then I went onto eBay as well and got a pack of 10 rods. And I've done that out of 5 millimeter by 300 millimeter copper rod. So get yourself some decent tin snips, cut your petals out, and then we're going to go outside and give these some texture. And I'll show you how we do that. So what you're going to need now is I've got this concrete padstone or block or something. You can do it on the floor if you want. I use a brick hammer. It's got that sort of end to it. So what we want to do first of all is we want to go around, flatten it down after they're cut into. They end up like a propeller shape after you've cut with the tin snips. So we want to flatten them down. And then I want to use the brick chipping end of the hammer in line with the petal, and I'm just going to go along like that with the contour of the petal. I'm just going to keep doing it. It's a bit awkward to do with the phone in one hand, but I'm going to do that over and over again. Then I'm going to turn it over, do the other side as well. And just texture them all, every petal like that, both sides. We're going to leave this part, we're going to leave that, we're not going to touch that one. But all the other petals, we're going to do that too, okay? Alright, so I'm just going to speed the video up here. What I've done was just, as I say, hammered them out, but tried to keep the lines in line with the petal. And yeah, just do that both sides and just carry on doing that. Work your way through all the petals and get it nice and textured before we start looking at doing the annealing process. Right, now we've textured all the petals. Next thing we need to do, get a blowtorch, and we need to anneal them. So if we get these to glow cherry red, copper's different to other metals, so sometimes when you heat it, it gets harder. But with copper, if you heat it up, anneal it, get it really cherry red and put it in water, afterwards it becomes really soft and malleable, and that's what we want for actually bending the petals into a flower shape. So let's heat this up now. Turn it on. That one done, put that into water. Now once they've come out of the water, after they've been heat treated, you'll be able to feel that it's noticeably bendier, more malleable. but they're all dirty. So what we're going to do is we're going to dry them off, we're going to flatten them out, and then I'm going to go over them with this wire brush and clean them all up and get them back to really shiny again. So I'll speed this bit of the video up as well. If we just keep doing the brushing, the wire brushing the same way as the petals are, the same way you've done the texturing as well, it all helps with the texturing of the petals and keeps it nice and clean as well. Once all the wire wheel cleaning is over, we've now got all these nice and back up to really shiny. Now we can go indoors and carry on because it's freezing out here. Well, now we're back inside. We've got all our petals nice and clean. We're going to need a few extra tools now for this bit. I've got a tiny little tabletop clamp vise stick to the table. We've got our 5mm copper rod. Now I've got a tack and die set. These are cheap enough to get. So what you do is you drill a hole through the centre of these for the centre of petals. I use a 4mm. You then twist this in, and that will then give you a thread on these petals. And then this part you thread down onto the rod, and that will give you a nice thread there. So then you just end up screwing all of the petals onto the rod. And then on top of it, I found these little nuts, little like dome-headed nuts, and that will finish it off. I'll show you what we do. Okay, so that's all of them drilled out now. I'm actually going to put this into my drill and then go through and thread all these holes. Okay, that gives you a nice threaded top to that, so then the petals can then screw onto that. Oh, so that's a better look. So that'll give you your threaded bit on the end of the bar, and then what we're going to do, we'll put that into the vise, and then we'll stack the petals, get ready. So now we're going to screw the petals down on. So first of all, get that one on. The reason I've done this was a couple of years ago, I done these with my boys for their girlfriends on Valentine's Day, and we done it and then soldered them together, and then what we found was the solder would leak a little bit sometimes, and plus when you're introducing heat to it again, it would change the colour of the petals. They'd get heat treated, so sometimes they go a bit darker and a bit. So doing it this way, no one's welding anything, no one's, you know, we're not heat treating it again, we haven't got solder coming out of it, we're just screwing them in place and get it started. So we're going to go ascending petal sizes, and we're going to tighten them up. Sometimes the petals catch on each other, and then we're going to try and get them so they are finishing at different points and not all stacked. And then keep working our way up different sizes. So you end up with the smallest one at the top, obviously. Does get a bit fiddly sometimes, but I'm 100% sure this is a better way of doing it than putting them on there, then having to solder them in place. Push that one down. you end up with a much better, shinier copper finish to it than if you use the blowtorch again. One on top. Then we use that little nut. And when we start folding these over, the little nut's going to almost be hidden away by the first one anyway, so you can get a little pair of grips or something just to tighten it up. But that's what you're going to end up with, looking something like that. So we're going to tighten that up, and then I'll show you, we're going to get some long nose pliers, get two long nose pliers, and we'll start bending these up. Alright, so I'll get some long nose pliers and put a bit of gaffer tape around the ends just to try and help stop marking it as much. And we want to get the petals, and we curl up and twist it round. And we do that to everyone. So the first ones are really, really tight. Bend it round that way. And push them up. So they're almost like covering over that silver nut. Squeeze it together. And this will form the start. So nice and tight, like that. You could even just grab hold of the tip of the petal and like bend it a little bit. And a good thing about it is, because it's a rose is a natural thing, they're not all the same. Everyone's different, so you can't really go wrong with, you know, no one's going to say, well, that doesn't look right, because it just will. So next row of petals, so I'll show you that one on top. So that will kind of look like that. And then we just go around, do one at a time. So we bring that up, curl it, bring that one up, curl it, bring that one up, curl it, and just keep doing that. Right, and now you end up with your almost finished rose. So you can like try and, it's quite strong. You can put it together, or you can open the petals out a bit, depending on how you feel. It's still all up to you. You do it how you want to do it. So sometimes it looks better, more open. You can grab hold of the end of the petal, and you can grab hold of the end of the petal and just like bend it back a bit with your pliers. They say the more you play around with it to get it how you want to get it, the more you'll be happy with it. That's it, nearly there. And then what we do is I will go and dunk this in a pot of varnish and just spin it off on the drill, just so we don't get no varnish just dripping down, and then let that dry. And then hopefully the varnish should stop the air reacting with the copper, because over time copper will go like a dark brown. So I'm hoping that you put some of this polyurethane varnish on it, and it will stay like this. Alright, so what I've done is I've just put the copper rose into my drill. I'm going to slowly dunk it into the that's a polyurethane varnish. Give that a little mix down so it's fully coated. We'll flick that off with a drill and then we're going to let it dry. So I've also done exactly the same procedure, exactly the same way, but with brass rods and brass sheets, and then that gives you a lovely gold flower as well. So I just wanted to see if it would work out exactly the same. Quite happy with it. So some people might prefer the gold colour, some people might prefer the copper, but yeah, I'm happy. So that is how you do it. Have a go. So there you go, how to make one unique copper rose. No welding, no soldering, totally unique, ready for you to give to your loved ones, anniversary, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, stuff like that. If you do make one, put a picture in the comment below. Good luck.